Most people believe strength reveals itself through words, through quick replies, explanations, and the ability to dominate conversation. But in every serious warrior tradition, especially in ancient Japan, strength was measured by something far more restrained. The strongest presence in the room was often the quietest. In Zen and Bushido, silence was never a lack, it was a discipline. It was evidence that the mind was ordered and not dragged by impulse. Miyamoto Musashi, undefeated in more than 60 duels, was known less for what he said and more for what he withheld. Chapter 1: Silence as Control. In the warrior codes of Japan, speech was considered an action, not a reflex. Every word carried consequence. To speak without necessity was to expose one's inner state, and exposure was weakness. Zen training taught warriors to observe the urge to speak without obeying it. This was not suppression, but mastery. The samurai learned that the first impulse to speak rarely served truth, only emotion. Silence allowed the impulse to pass, leaving clarity behind. Musashi embodied this restraint. He did not argue. He did not correct others unnecessarily. He allowed misunderstanding to exist when correction offered no strategic value. In doing so, he conserved energy and maintained control of the encounter. Chapter 2: The Modern Man Who Spoke Too Much. There was a man living a modern life who believed his problem was invisibility. At work, he explained himself in detail. In disagreements, he defended his intentions carefully. He believed clarity would earn respect. Instead, the opposite happened. The more he spoke, the more he seemed uncertain. His words sounded like requests for validation rather than statements of fact. People interrupted him freely, sensing no weight behind his speech. One evening, after an argument where nothing he said changed the outcome, he noticed something unsettling. He had spoken not to resolve the situation, but to soothe his own discomfort. That realization stayed with him. Chapter 3: Encountering the Warrior Principle. While reading about Musashi and Zen discipline, he encountered a simple idea. The warrior does not speak to discharge emotion. He speaks only to shape reality. Everything else is endured in silence. This idea felt severe, almost cruel, but it was also precise. The man realized his constant explanations were attempts to control how others saw him. He was attached to being understood. The samurai path demanded the opposite. Detach from interpretation. Act correctly. Allow results in time to speak. Chapter 4: Practicing Restraint. He began with a small, non-negotiable action. He would pause before responding, even when provoked, not to plan a better reply, but to see whether a reply was necessary at all. At first, the silence felt dangerous. His mind raced with imagined consequences, but nothing collapsed. Conversations continued. Sometimes, others filled the silence themselves, revealing far more than he ever had. Gradually, he removed explanations from his speech. If something required action, he acted. If words would not improve the outcome, he withheld them. This was not withdrawal, it was elimination. Chapter 5: Zen and Inner Order. Zen teaches that speech reflects the state of the mind. A restless mind produces excessive words. A disciplined mind produces few, deliberate ones. Silence is not practiced for appearance, but as a byproduct of order. In traditional Zen stories, students were often met with silence instead of answers. The silence forced them to confront their own urgency. Understanding emerged not through explanation, but through stillness. The man began to notice this internally. The less he spoke, the less he needed to. Silence calmed the mind, and a calm mind reduced the need for speech. A loop formed, reinforcing itself. Chapter 6: Transformation of Presence. Over time, something subtle changed. When he did speak, people listened. His words no longer competed with noise because they were not frequent. They arrived after thought, not during emotion. He also gained something unexpected. By speaking less, he heard more. He noticed patterns, motivations, and inconsistencies in others that were previously hidden by his own voice. This is a quiet power the samurai understood well. Silence gathers information while revealing nothing. It keeps the inner world sealed. The strong speak less not because they lack thoughts, but because they respect them. They understand that words shape situations, and unnecessary words create unnecessary consequences. Silence is not emptiness, it is containment. It signals that the mind is not under siege by every stimulus or opinion. In a world that rewards constant expression, restraint becomes rare, and what is rare carries weight. This is why the warrior remains quiet, not to appear strong, but because strength no longer needs to announce itself.